more than 10 years ago, I'd say, I made a box to house some of my smaller sketches, drawings, for 9 by 11, usually pen and ink or pencil or watercolor drawings. And as you can see, I'm running out of room. So I would love to try and sell these or something. So I'm gonna go through them and you can have a look just to see what's in here. And if you want anything, let me know. This is a pen and ink and watercolor flower. It's kind of like a sketchbook, but that's a glass of water, pen and ink and watercolor. A long time ago. This is 2002. This is a missile silo that I never finished. This is a children's slide with melted butter. I think this is an empty art gallery. And a pink chair in milk. And another view. And an S-shaped donut. A square donut with goopy orange cream and pink frosting. A more conventional frosted donut. Another one. This one is sort of a T shape. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what that one is. Kind of volcanic. It's called a double late tulip or a rosy diamond pippy flower. That's pencil. You can kind of see. Pen and ink and watercolor drawing. Yeah. So if you're interested in any of these, let me know and I'll tell you how much. Just tell me what, take a screen grab or give me the time signature of the video. That's a boob eye. Boob eye. Dogwood? I forget the name of this. Pen and ink. Actually, this is brush and ink. It's like a collage of a car crash. Kind of a mirror image one. Enthusiastic, pen and ink and watercolor. I think that's P, I guess, with glass letters. That says slippery, pen and ink and watercolor. Another donut. And another donut. This says stuck. Flower study. A lot of these I've made larger. I use these. I draw these to sort of perfect them. And then I draw them larger on other parts. This is pencil. Oh, this was a study. I did a couple of these giant balls of flour. Great balls of flour. See that? I do a lot of erasing and redrawing in these. This was for Matt Fury's Save Pepe. Bring Pepe back into the realm of love and no more hate. This is a pill flower that I did really big. You can see I sort of have notes in the margin. I love they have diners here in New York and they have these bread. It's usually in like wax paper and I think it's called Fink, but that's from a long time ago. I have a series of floating mattresses. This is one of those back from 2003. Bunch of real little flower studies, pencil and watercolor. More donuts. This is a meth mouth, I guess. I love drawing these. Pen and ink, and you can see with the reflection, it's been treated with wax, like a beeswax over it. You can see the reflection a little bit. Another one of these. Crazy cream. This is pen and ink and watercolor of the number 5. I think that's a cafeteria with donuts on the table. The number 8 with, I guess it's an art studio with glass blowing furnace, and there's a model, I guess it's just in the chair. I was a nude model in college for a little while, 2 different schools. I had a robe on the back. I said the nude dude. I would drop to the floor when it was time for me to pose. 6 is a track with lockers. 3 is a classroom when the teacher sort of lives in the back with his Cabbage Patch or her Cabbage Patch doll collection. And this is the driver's ed simulator, number 1. We used to have these mechanical driver's ed. You would sit at these driving wheels and they would project a film like a movie, 16 millimeter movie film, and it would have these primitive computers where they would grade your driving according to what's happening, and they never worked. And library with sit-upon mats for the number 2. This is from my Teachers from Memory series. Mrs. Otto, I had her for kindergarten and 2nd grade. Mrs. Otto. Another flower. Oh, an early boner bed that kind of infused the paper with wax. It looks sort of weird and stainy. I guess that's apropos to a boner bed. Eyeball, pen and ink and watercolor. Sort of a twisty donut. Chaos. Oh, this is a little looser one with, there's actually some gouache on here, which I don't usually use. Oh, sort of a skull donut. Skullduggery donut. Kind of a water bear donut. Underpants with all sorts of colors. More underpants with Zipatone shadow. The word plop in pen and ink with watercolor. Sausages. Couple studies for the word peepers. I did some big drawings of rooms with, these were the earlier studies. This one, and this is a little more subtle. Peepers. Texas. I missed with Texas. It's butter. Spruce it up. Liquid. These are almost all on Fabriano Artistico 140-pound hot press watercolor paper. This is just pen and ink on paper, no watercolor. This is, I've done this, showed you, well, I don't know you, who's watching this, but I had this on my website sort of recently. It's the Russian Pea Room with, where a potential compromat situation happened with our dear president, with his big tie and a hemorrhoid donut on the chair and lots of pee and they must have drank a lot of water while they were doing whatever they did, peeing on, was it Obama's old room in the Russian hotel, and then, you know, all of the surveillance that he doesn't know about around. McDonald's, a lot of Diet Cokes. Catch with water and something yellow. Oh, I have a lot of hot tubs from back in the day with pink sort of frosting inside. And tables and milk. This actually, I used a pink ink to make the grains. Pencil with donuts, with sort of parasitic donuts. Wood, looks like it's sort of being heated up, I guess. Oh, this is the top of the think bag. Another floaty mattress. Unkempt mattress. Chair in milk. Another chair in milk, but this has beeswax over it. Another chair in a room with beeswax over it. You can see the beeswax. Another one with a lot of beeswax with no ink. It's just pencil. It's kind of ghost-like. I like that one. Liquid, more liquid. Glass letters with, I guess, blood inside. Liquor. Not the kind you drink, though. Saliva. A lot. Another Texas, but with green snot. Looks like boogers, but it's snot. Lodged. If you go to a hotel and you stay there, you are lodged. This says Holy Roller. I was sort of working on twisting my letters, 3D letters around. Powder. Choke cherry. Oh, this is cool. This is like a weird barnacle tire with squirty thing coming out the bottom. This is I don't know if you can tell, it's like a blue ink, like a dark blue ink. Pen and ink. This was sort of a collage car crash pen and ink drawing. A study in another van crash, but with watercolor. Oh, this is the, I guess the Fink bread bag filled with pea or something. I don't know. Butter, maybe? Let's call it butter. Donut pieces. A butter pat. No, what do they call it? Stick of butter. It's sort of melty. Another hot tub with melted butter. Oh, this is an etching I made in graduate school, I think. Matches. Underpants with matches. That's kind of dumb. Donut cluster. Oh boy, here come more donuts. Here's a splotchy donut. Sort of another one. The yellow in the middle. Another one. Good Lord. It's like they're never gonna end. A donut on a table in milk. And this is, ooh, I should plug my phone in or I'm gonna lose the battery. Let's see. Here. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, that's better. Another hot tub. Oh yeah, so this was a hot tub with butter in it. This is the one with sitting in milk with nothing in it. I don't know what that is. I think it's wood with frosting on butter. Another wood with frosting and butter. A donut thinking about another donut. More diagrammatical donut stuff. Liquid getting poured onto liquid, getting poured onto a chair in milk. Sort of a black and white chair with ghosty glass on top. Splashity splash, pen and ink. This is the top of a chair. This is another one of those, what's it called? Beeswax drawings. Pen and ink and watercolor and then beeswax. You decide what the heck that is. Oh, this is another etching, but not with the background, with the olives of the match. Another donut, for God's sake. More matches where like the phosphorus stuff sort of slipped down. Oh, this is the original drawing of the match and the olives for those etchings. Teeny tiny little glass of water. Half full, half empty. Depends what kind of person you are. This is one of the newer donuts. Very super bold and graphic-y. A little pile of donuts. And my art teacher from middle school. And a cephalopod. And a cephalopod with a whistling moon traveler shoved up its ass. And Mr. Fahrenkrug, my principal from elementary school. And that's me. And that's my eyes. This is Nelson with Oreo cookie neck, cream neck, and a big mole on her forehead. Mr. Forte, my gym teacher from middle school, big crazy teeth. I don't even know if he did. Maybe he did. Bus driver from middle school. No, high school. Who was this again? I forget his name. I think he was my 6th grade homeroom teacher. Orchid? Is that Orchid? I think so. I forget what that's called. More pen and ink drawings. Unfinished, well, sort of pastel missile silo. It's the old school, sort of Soviet era controls. Mr. Whitenheller, my gym teacher from high school. Mr. Brown, history, he was cool. His wife made his ties out of curtains, and he always had tons of different ties. Mr. Kerr, horrible, mean math teacher. He might actually have been a good math teacher, but he was mean. Oh my God, an illustration I did for the New York Press. Jesus, that must have been 1997 or something, I don't know. Mr. Wilkie, the school psychologist in middle school. Mrs. Hughes, math teacher in elementary school. Mary Amir, my Hebrew school teacher with one eye. Dr. Borth, Latin, German teacher. Asshole. Mrs. Went, she was a cool music teacher. And Mrs. Becker, she was a kind of a mean music teacher. And John Box, principal high school, he was all right. Mr. Wickland, kind of an asshole, history homeroom teacher in elementary school. John Box, he was a math teacher in middle school, who's now the principal, I think, of that school. He was okay. Mr. Setzer, mean speech teacher. And both of these are Dr. Wallner, total dick, principal, middle school. So these are in the box. So let me know if you want any. I'll tell you what they cost. Just email me, teplin@gmail.com or scott@teplin.com. And here are a couple others. These are a little bigger for the box. Flour, more donuts, the Brazilian cream, whoops, pencil, oops, ink, pencil. Oh, B, I meant to watercolor this. I think I might still watercolor this guy. And pencil.